What is the role of sex in consciousness? How should it be approached as a way to become more awake? Are lust and casual sex detrimental to consciousness? Are they always harmful? Of course, it's something wonderful. We could call it an addiction that nature has built into the human being to ensure the survival of the species. If that pleasure-inducing addiction weren't built into the body, who would willingly take part in such an absurd act? It's there because it's deeply attractive, but it also has a strong tendency to render humans unconscious. You may have noticed this in yourself when it takes control. It's a powerful pull, and it can easily hijack your mind. Naturally, it pulls you where it wants you to go. The final orgasm, that's its goal. Tantra, an ancient Indian practice, offers a way to engage with sexuality without losing consciousness. In fact, growing in awareness through the act itself. It's about bringing presence to something that would normally leave you unconscious. And the key is becoming the observer at every stage. Let's say a sexual urge arises for whatever reason. You see something, you think of someone, or perhaps it's simply a passing feeling. Bring awareness to it without needing to act on it. No need to take it anywhere. Just feel it, be fully present with it, and allow yourself to be the awareness behind it. If you're with another person, you don't necessarily have to engage in the full sexual act. Even if it's just a touch, be conscious of it. Bring full awareness to the sensory experience. That awareness can arise even when the impulse is present. You face it with presence. And that is a beautiful spiritual practice. It's not always necessary to follow it to the end. In fact, you might enjoy it more when it doesn't dominate you or pull you into unconsciousness. I called it an addiction because it truly becomes one when it takes over your mind. Then you start compulsively seeking sexual partners, and in that case, it actually pushes you into deeper unconsciousness. It becomes one of the mind's ways of seeking fulfillment and never finding it. That's where the famous lyric says, "I can't get no satisfaction." And so you seek the next fix. It can become a real addiction, like a drug. Let's say you feel a sexual impulse. Perhaps you look at a man or woman and feel a slight attraction. Simply observe it with awareness. That is the beginning of Tantra. There's no need to act on it or approach the person. Just allow yourself to see the beauty of the masculine or feminine form and remain conscious. At every stage, be present. This applies to anything that tends to render you unconscious, any strong impulse. For example, if you have the urge to overeat, try becoming aware of that impulse before you act on it. That too is Tantra. Anything that usually pulls you into unconsciousness can be used for growing in awareness. What used to make you lose yourself can now help you awaken. Imagine you find yourself in the middle of the night, standing in front of the fridge, your hand already on the handle. In that moment, you wake up. You really wake up, and you feel the need to open it and take out that piece of chocolate cake. That's when you can observe the impulse inside you. Sit for a few minutes and fully feel the urge to indulge. Inhale, and simply observe. You might find that the urge begins to fade as you bring awareness to it. And if it doesn't, maybe you'll still eat the cake. But at least there was awareness in the process, because overeating only truly happens when consciousness is absent. So bring presence even to the act of eating. Personally, I've never had the issue of overeating. I've had other addictions, but not that one. And I believe that if you apply this approach, the urge to overeat will diminish quickly when you eat mindfully. So anything that leads you into unconsciousness can be used as a spiritual practice. This includes other addictions, like drugs or any other substance. Feel the inner urge, observe it, let it be there, so it doesn't take control of you. It's only when you're unconscious that these things can fully dominate you. And it's not about fighting them. Awareness doesn't fight. Awareness is simply the space in which everything arises. And because you're not fighting it, you're not repressing it either. Don't do that with sex. For centuries, religious traditions have tried, through ascetic practices, to push it down. But that only makes it worse because then it seeks channels that can be quite destructive. Sexuality is an enormous force. You can't just repress it. In fact, repression may be even worse than having a different sexual partner every night. So that's not the answer. The answer is to meet it with awareness. Whatever would normally become an addictive force that leaves you unconscious, meet it in the space of awareness. There, the impulse comes and goes. Another wave may arise, and in the vastness that you are, it arrives and dissolves. It's like a dark cloud entering the sky. It expands, then fades, and another may follow. Whatever the impulse may be, awareness is the answer, not resistance. And yes, it's also important to cut the link between thought and sexual impulse, especially at night. Otherwise, it can keep you awake.